It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, the 19th day of May 2026. I hope you have a great time at work. If you're already at work, if you're on your way to work, have a safe journey to work. We're streaming live Facebook and YouTube, ABC News GH. And so if you leave home, you can still catch the show on social media and continue following all of our conversations there on ABC in the morning. There's a lot that we turn our attention to today on ABC in the morning. Where does free speech end? It's a question to find out. And where does political punishment begins? Because if you've been following the conversation, it's been all about free speech, persecution, the curtailing of free speech, and most recently, some allegations that this government is bringing us back to the days of criminal libel law. Is that what it is? Or is government just ensuring that you speak and speak within the remits of your rights? Is that what it looks like? The continued detention of ABENA DC, the Bono regional chair of the NPP, Kwame Bafo, is now drawing sharp reactions across the country. A legal challenge against his detention is expected to be heard on May 20, while policy analyst Franklin Kujo is also openly calling for his immediate release. For some, this is about accountability, and for others, it is about intimidation. But for many Ghanaians watching closely, it is becoming a defining test of democratic tolerance. At the same time, tensions are rising elsewhere, where we'll turn our attention. The Communications Minister, Sam George, reportedly clashed with the chair of the Public Accounts Committee over persistent poor network connections and questions about accountability in the telecom sector. Frustration over dropped calls, weak internet service, and digital reliability is no longer just inconvenience. It is economic pressure, and rightly so. Imagine you were on a call, a business call, and you kept losing connection with the person you were speaking with. The frustration that sets in would even lead to saying, I'm tired of this conversation we are having. Well, these are concerns that have been brought up, and so we'll turn our attention to those. And when we go all the way to Boko, anxiety is building again as Mamprugu leaders prepare for a crucial meeting today. Every development there now carries national implications, and many are asking whether lasting peace is truly within reach. And this morning, we examine power, we examine speech, we examine governance, and we examine national stability. Because in moments like these, democracies are not judged only by how leaders speak, but by how institutions respond when criticism becomes uncomfortable. This is ABC in the morning. Stay with us. Now let's turn our attention to our quote of the day. Today's quote is by the 26th President of the United States of America, Theodore Roosevelt. He said, "Patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president or any other public official." Your patriotism is always to your country, please. When you think about growth of your nation, it means that your patriotism should be turned towards your country. What do we see in our body politics? It looks like all our loyalty is only to the political party we are affiliated to or with, or the president that we voted into power. It's great that we will support our president, because at the end of the day, the majority of the people voted for that president. But your patriotism, the highest form of it, should be to your nation. so much so that you seek the welfare of your nation. And so even if it is your favorite that is not working for the betterment of the nation, you speak truth to power. And so Theodore Roosevelt reminds us that patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president or any other official. And that is our quote of the day. There's a lot for you this morning on ABC in the morning. We'll bring you the front pages of the newspapers, what the newspapers are telling us. We'll also bring you daily drop and then bring you conversations that you would love. We'll bring you the latest in the world of sports as we gear closely towards the World Cup that will be happening sometime in June. We have about 27 to 26 days more to the World Cup, and so you do not want to miss out on that today on ABC in the morning. I'd love to hear from you, where you can send us your message on Facebook and on YouTube. Leave us a comment in the comment section and I'll do well to read it for the listening or the hearing of all our viewers. Interact with us via our socials at ABC News GH and our website where we give you the news as it happens, www.abcnewsgh.com. You can similarly scan the QR code on your TV and you would go straight to our website. It is ABC in the morning with me, ABENA MANTE. I'm glad that you have joined me this morning. After the break, we bring you the newspaper headlines. Please stay.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the Talking Point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Some things never change. The meals we grew up loving, the taste that brings everyone together through every pot and every recipe. Gino remains the tomato mix you trust. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
This week's been wild. New releases dropping, artists blowing up, moments going crazy on the timeline. Don't worry, we've got you.
We pull the highlights, the dates, the events, everything you need to know, and then the real fun starts.
The official top 10 songs running the streets, the airwaves, and your playlists.
If the culture is talking about it, we are counting it down.
This is the rundown.
Baby, we are second. So you remember to pon need advert. Let's why so by advert no you to pon na kwara nim dia.
Do you need a media house to shoot quality TV ad for your company or product? Bring your company's vision to life.
And me come from media house we am potential films. So you must so you must don't worry. So what you to pon e cost you through advert dia contact them.
We help businesses build their brands.
Ukraine omodwuma hote omo quality can me so many twa
reach their target audience, and ultimately drive sales and revenue growth.
Perfect. Contact a good script about your product, sound, jet. They'll give you quality pictures. How do you see it? How do you feel it? Wow. So picture we now on Makasa. First number way 0541 16 28 28. I'm repeat 0541 16 28 28. Call them. Number one,
Potential Films. We believe in quality.
Welcome back, ABC in the morning. Let's turn our attention to the front pages of the newspapers. This is Women and Leadership. Growing concerns over alleged rise of lesbian relationship in Ghana's girls' senior high schools. Okay, well, grab a copy and read what the growing concerns are. Fisheries Ministry announces 2026 closed season for marine fishing. I actually appreciate when the season is closed. It also gives us time to let our seas rest, as it were, and then the next time we'll see some good harvest. And so good job. Merck Foundation Ghana alumni. Okay, we see the picture of the First Lady, Mrs. Lordina Mahama. The ABENA Mante recalls for focus during heated Public Accounts Committee exchange with Sam George. Yesterday evening, it looked like that was the most popular all around what was happening during the day. ABENA Mante and Sam George clashing at the public account hearing. What was she asking for? That consumers see value for money, and rightly so. The minister has outlined what they are doing from his outfit, and so all eyes on the ministers. We look forward to better from the various telcos. Let's take a look at other newspapers. The Chronicle, uncapping NHIS funds unlocks $300 million for healthcare investment in Ghana. And that is President Mahama. He told the Geneva Forum this. Goldfields rejects claims of neglect in Tarkwa communities. All right, but we also appreciate that we need more to be done in our mining communities. Other countries, mining communities look spick and span. They look great. They're getting all the investments. Not so for Ghana. It is not same. And so in as much as Goldfield is rejecting claims of neglect in Tarkwa communities, we also look forward to seeing better done for the various mining communities within our country. Let them feel the ripple effect of all of the gold, the diamond, all of the rich minerals that are being mined from their communities. Bank of Ghana warns of rising inflation risks as Middle East crisis deepens. We pray that it does not become worse. Already people are complaining about the fuel prices. You see that when you're passing by any fuel station and you see the prices going up and up, please, we don't want that. Thank you. Let's take your attention to more newspapers. Daily Graphic, President Mahama unveils homegrown healthcare funding. 3 billion Ghana cedis unlocked from uncapped NHIS. And then we see $1 billion cocoa financing plan to domestic bond. Also, Ministry of Health set to recruit for free primary care. All right, these are the front pages of the Daily Graphic. The Spider. I have no respect for that judge. This is Afenyo Markin, who is declared war on the judge who is dealing with the Abronye case. Ghana's oil sector on the bind. PIAC sounds red alert as $434 million big push cash lies idle. All right. 35.8 million Ghana cedi African Games scandal. PAC explodes over ghost police bill. Well, we'll look forward to seeing what more happens. Ferry back. Afram Plains comes alive. Great. The people of Afram Plains rely a lot on the ferry in there, and so when it's not working as it should, it means that a lot of things come to a standstill, and we cannot have that happen. Let's take a look at more newspapers. Daybreak. IGP breaks record with massive police intake, and General Annan takes over Support Services Command. This is for the Ghana Armed Forces. And we see the AFCFTA trade hits $220 billion as Africa pushes for economic integration amid global uncertainty. All right, Africa Continental Free Trade Area are seeing a $220 billion trade hit. Damang sells gold to Gold Board. We already understand that Damang mines that have been taken over by engineers and planners said they will be selling their gold to Gold Board. So this will be the second sale they have made to Gold Board. All right. The Archives. Galamsey thugs open fire on chief. 1 dead, others injured. We really need to wage a very strong war against Galamsey and what we are experiencing. I mean, why the brazen attitude to be able to open fire on a chief? We need to fight this fight and win the war. Water crisis looms again in whole areas. Well, the Ghana Water Limited 2 days ago announced that they would have to close, or they were closing down their water treatment plant in the Teve area. So that was going to cause some water crisis, and we are seeing that on the front page of the Archives. Well, developers have defied regional minister's top work directive. Why? Why are individuals, private citizens, defying a minister's directive? Well, we'll follow up on that. McDan in tears over buyer beware notice on Spintex land. And you can't heckle me. I'm also an MP. Sam George to Abena Osei Asari. And these are the stories on the Archives. The Business Analyst reports Health Ministry recruits 6,245 nurses and midwives nationwide. Starting Agenda 111 hospitals at once was not prudent. President Mahama fires. Let's turn our attention to more newspapers. The Enquirer. Ghana to exit Gavi funding for vaccines by 2030 as USAID shutdown could push 5.7 million Africans into poverty. This is President Mahama. Enough is enough. NPA Navy crack down on fuel smugglers. All these on the front page of the Enquirer. Ghana to raise $1 billion cocoa bonds. And it comes with a picture of the CEO of Cocoa Board, Dr. Abe. Mahama scoops prestigious Africa Democracy Award. All right. And NDC declares June as reflection, ideological renewal, and democratic accountability. Also on the front page of the Inquirer, Otumfuo talks tough, demands new direction for Ghana at 70. Aspiring NPP Ahafo chairman calls for unity to secure 2028 victory. All right. Also on the front page, crack the whip. Ghanaians descend on Mahama over sleeping and arrogant appointees. Also on the front page, Park Girls Labour Ministry, 2 vehicles missing as interest bill mounts. Also on the front page, xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Ghana airlifts 300 in evacuation. Government reassesses Agenda 111. Mahama praises pushes focus on 35 near completion hospitals. All right. On the new Crusading Guide, it says exposed. Sam George allocates 50 million Ghana cedis just to monitor 1 million coders program. All right. A focus headmaster vouches for his integrity as he vies for the chairmanship of the NPP. High Court stops gazetting of Rara Paramount chief amid chieftaincy dispute. These are some stories on the front page of the new Crusading Guide. NPA Navy torch illicit fuel boat, and Boa to green light Bogosu mine mortgage in $65 million Trafigura deal. Okay, clear us or we'll clear ourselves. Clear us or we will clear ourselves. All right. Afenyo Markin leads NPP blitz on judges over Abronye detention. The overseer, NPRA targets informal sector with new digital pension ecosystem. And Nana Oyebampoado hails multimedia group for shaping Ghana's development. All right. Kwachio Fosu slams GBA over silence on Afenyo Markin judge remarks. Kidney failure, dialysis and transplant ordeal. Kojo Eduasari praises Ato Forcing and others. Sometime last week, Kojo Eduasari was speaking on his challenges, health challenges, and those of his friends and colleagues from the political circles who came to his aid. And these are the stories on the overseer. The Daily Searchlight, former NAFCO boss and wife granted bail. Chairman Wuntumi and co. accused still on bail. All right. Scandalous. Ghana police charged fees for public events. Is that true? ACCA 2023 African Games chair questions 35.8 million Ghana cedi police bail as unjustified. Why is a state-sponsored police institution charging fees for providing security? It is a question. We hope that answers are given based on the work that the Public Accounts Committee is taking. On the front page of the African News today, aspiring NPP chairman calls for unity to secure 2028's victory. Stop tagging elderly widows as witches. Yes, please stop tagging them as witches. We need our elderly in our communities with us. We tag them as witches and we abandon them. Still on African News today, no abandoned projects in Bibiani and Nyaso Bekwai. MCE clears the air, says 24-hour market project kicks off at Seshi Bekwai. NPP scribe lawyer Frimpong remains the mainstay of the party's victory in 2028. All right, all the best to him. NDC activist urges Mahama to fulfill campaign promise. Bogatanga MCE urges dressmaking graduates to uphold discipline, honesty. Yes, uphold discipline. Please, when we bring our clothes, please finish them in time as you give us. When you tell us to come in 2 days, Please get them ready in 2 days. The Dispatch reports chiefs are not just ceremonial figures but strategic partners in governance. President Mahama says so. IGP Tete Yehuno doubles police academy intake for officers. All right. Focus on Mr. Julius Debra and Mr. Johnson Esiedun Ketia for the NDC's 2028 presidential slot. Find a newspaper, grab a copy of the Dispatch, and you can read this story. Voice. Mahama government reintroducing criminal libel law. Afeni Markin says so. Mahama commits $434 million oil money to Accra Kumasi Expressway as questions mount on ABFA allocation. And these are the stories on the various newspapers. You can tell the stories that are making the headlines. Well, you grab a copy of any of these newspapers and you can read more than the headlines that I have brought to you this morning on ABC in the morning. We'll transition you into Daily Job. It's been a while since we brought you Daily Job. Let's enjoy what's also trending, making the headlines on social media. We'll be back.
Finally come out with a statement to address all the brouhaha that is going on about the fact that whether they are going down over the judgment from court on their case with Daniel Ofori. Now, Ecobank Ghana has assured customers that its operations and financial position remains stable despite a recent court ruling involving claims against the bank. In a media release issued in Accra on May 16, 2026, the bank stated that Ecobank Ghana PLC respects the judicial process and will continue to uphold the rules of the law, the statement said. The bank further reassured customers that its financial position remains strong and resilient and that banking services across its branches and digital platforms continue without disruption. The statement comes amid growing public discussions surrounding recent legal claims involving the financial institution. Ecobank Ghana emphasized its commitment to maintaining confidence among customers, businesses, and stakeholders while legal processes continue. The statement was signed by Ecobank Ghana PLC, and according to the release, Ecobank Ghana was established in 1989 and began operations in February 1990. The bank currently operates 59 branches, 238 ATMs, and more than 4,500 express point agents across the country. The bank, which is supervised by the Bank of Ghana, serves individuals, SMEs, corporations, NGOs, and government institutions through consumers, commercial, and then corporate banking divisions. So all Bank of Ghana is saying is that they are safe, because I remember last times, reports in the comment sections, people were, going back and forth. Somebody was like, hey, me, I have my 50 Ghana in the account. Oh, hey, my money. Ecobank says, your money is safe. Your 50 Ghana is safe. Your investments are safe with them. So don't panic at all. Before. Right now, there, if you commit a crime and there's evidence in your WhatsApp chat, SMS, even your call log, and you think that you have deleted it, then lie. Because the Ghana Police Service has acquired advanced digital forensic technology from Czech Republic to strengthen investigations into cybercrime, mobile money fraud, and then online scams. The new tools donated to the cybercrime unit of the Criminal Investigations Department includes the mobile edit forensic software developed by Czech technology company Compulsant. The software allows investigators to legally examine smartphones and extract digital evidence such as call logs, SMS messages, WhatsApp chats, Telegram conversations, photos, videos, browser histories, and then app data. According to police officials, the technology can also recover some deleted messages, call logs, and hidden files depending on the condition of the device and whether the data has been overwritten. Investigators will also be able to organize recovered information into forensic reports and timelines that can be used as evidence in court. Security analysts say the technology will improve Ghana's ability to investigate cyber fraud, identity theft, hacking, extortion, and other organized digital crimes, which have become increasingly common in recent years. The development forms part of ongoing cybersecurity cooperation between Ghana and the Czech Republic. while also raising discussions about the importance of lawful investigations, digital privacy, and then data protection. So guys, maybe I do no. Right now, dear, if you do anything and you delete it, Telegram will bring it back. Send it to court as evidence. Be informed.
Ola, the under 17 goalkeeper, Gelson Dalla. Yes, he won the man of the match in the opener of the AFCON. But a lot of controversies have sparked surrounding his age. Because the man's look, or the person's look, and to say he's 16 years, it has got a lot of football pundits and a lot of football fans really puzzled and asking lots of questions. That African football in particular, why does this age barrier always become a problem? But while people they cause debates for social media top, Antoine Semenyo was the hero of this weekend as he managed to score the only goal that gave Manchester City the win over Chelsea in the FA Cup final at Wembley. Yes, Antoine Semenyo, the Ghanaian forward, scored the only goal that won the cup for Manchester City over this weekend. He was praised by everyone from Pep Guardiola to his fellow players as well. Kudos to the Ghanaian forward. Moving on to the Premier League, the fight for Europe top leagues positions turned into pure chaos because Sunderland pulled off a huge comeback over the weekend as they managed to beat Everton through Brian Bobby and Enzo Lee them are go inside. Now Leeds United also managed snatch points from Brighton as Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored a dramatic 96th minute winner with Leeds only shot on target for the whole game. So Calvert-Lewin became the hero of the game. Brentford and Crystal Palace also managed to share points in a 2-2 draw, but Brentford they damaged them European hopes more, whilst Fulham them European dreams they go up as they managed to hold Wolves to a draw. Wonder kid Matthias Mane scored an absolute rocket. The goal the boy scored there, it be serious one from outside the box, and he really hit that top bins inside. Over for Old Trafford to Bruno Fernandes. Yes, the assist king. Yes, he managed to meet Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry's tally as 20 assists in a single season of the EPL. Yes, the Manchester United midfielder has now joined the elites as one of the top assist givers in the EPL. And Casemiro also managed to say his farewell to the Manchester United fans and team after he played his last match for them over this weekend as well. And on Manchester United again, Michael Carrick. Yes, Michael Carrick has been appointed as their new head coach officially. He has been given a contract to run the team. Over for Spain too, the La Liga gets its own madness. Yes, Barcelona managed to complete them a perfect season home record after beating Real Betis as Rafinha managed to score twice. Coming back from injury, your man managed to score some wild free kick and some wild in-play game goal as well. Barcelona became the first team, they become the very first team in La Liga history to win all 19 home games in a season. Hansi flicked the ball proper. Wow. The coach too, he big up some of his players like Rashford, João Cancelo, and Rafinha himself. Now I'm going to come back to Africa because African football too, they go on. Wow. USM Alger were crowned the CAF Confederations Cup champions after they managed to beat Zamalek 8-7 on penalties in Cairo inside for Egypt. Zamalek, them are old home bow, them are backyard, they lose the title to USM Alger. The two teams managed to finish the level over 2 legs, but the Algerians showed the Egyptians see they wanted it more. And USM Alger are the current CAF Confederations Cup champions of Africa. And now let's come home. Let's come back to Ghana. Let's get home. As the Ghana Premier League has officially gotten the champions of the 2025-2026 season, and it's Mediama FC. They were officially crowned the champions of the Ghana Premier League with a game to spare. That's a massive achievement for Ibrahim Tanko and his boys after the Tapa boys managed to hold a thrilling campaign in this season's league. And now moving on to the Saudi Pro League, you be like say my go today, they no one make you win anything at all. Yes, the AFC Champions League final where Anasa Sofan will reach. They make Gamba Osaka score them 1 goal. Abacha, then lose the trophy. Ronaldo no get that trophy right now. Baby, only the league where you go feel when the league self, then push them to the final match day. So Ronaldo they be like the Saudi Pro League go. Then they do everything they go do, make sure say he no go win anything. So my people, you say this weekend we pass there, the world of football, it gets everything from inside. From records, controversy, heartbreak, late goals, and proper football chaos where they go on. Wow. This be why we they love the game. Let's talk in the comment section. Like, follow, and share for more news. Be informed.
Health Ministry assures foreign nurses recruitment amid online system concerns. Who declares Ebola outbreak in DR Congo and Uganda global health emergency? Ghana on high alert over Ebola outbreak in Uganda and DR Congo. Fire gutted a structure beside the newly built Obuasi China Mall and then affected a section of the mall. Sheba Wontumi has been charged over an alleged 40.3 million Axim Bank loan fraud case. Red Control will be recruiting youth as the inspectors to enforce tenancy regulations. President John Dramani Mahama delivers keynote address at the 79th World Health Assembly in Geneva. Nigerian man jailed for false death claim about Adinkole Gold's and Simi's daughter, Deja. Tragedy hit voter rating as two brothers drown trying to save their younger sibling.
Have you ever sat in a trotro while it's raining and the rain is literally beating you, like you're in the car in Sunsiobo? Heavy rains in Accra have once again exposed the poor condition of some of our commercial vehicles operating on our roads. In a video going around on social media, you could see that passengers aboard the Medina to Teshi trotro were seen holding their bags and personal belongings over their heads while seated, just because the rain was heavily leaking through the roof of the vehicle. In another video, you could see that passengers who were traveling from Tabora to Kaneshi, they were wet, like they were soaked, while they were sitting in the car. Even if they were walking or they were on a motor, would have been better. Because why would you be in the car and it will be raining and you'll be soaked like this? This is raising concerns about how these cars are still allowed to operate on Ghana's road despite their poor condition. There were some comments whereby people were even questioning DVLA that what is their duty, what are they doing? Because how are they allowing these cars to operate without any proper inspection? Well, frustrated passengers are demanding for stricter checks on commercial vehicles and accountability from authorities responsible for road.
Well, so that is Daily Drop bringing us all that is trending. Indeed, I am very much concerned about the vehicles. Have you sat in a trotro when it's raining and you would have rather walked in the rain? Leakages. Some of the trottros are not worthy to be on our roads. Who gave them roadworthy stickers? Make life better for commuters. They can't be paying all of these high trotro fares, and then when it's raining, it beats them in the trotro. Our hearts go out to you, our friends who were beaten by the rains in the trotro. Well, let's take a break. When we return, we have a lot to turn our attention to. Sam George and Abnose Asari at the Public Accounts Committee, and also the detention of Abronye. So much is all over. Comments here and there, articles here and there. There's just a lot to read. After this break, we'll bring you all of that. Stay with us, ABC in the morning.
Without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your team data guy on the talking point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC, as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose the tomato mix you trust. Because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
This week's been wild. New releases dropping, artists blowing up, moments going crazy on the timeline. Don't worry, we've got you.
We pull the highlights, the dates, the event, everything you need to know, and then the real fun starts.
The official top 10 songs running the streets, the airwaves, and your playlists.
If the culture is talking about it, we are counting it down.
This is the rundown.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning. Let's take you to the Public Accounts Committee, where various ministries, various agencies, outfits have been appearing before the committee to account for the work they've been doing. And it was the turn of the Ministry for Communications. The minister himself, Sam George, was there. In the course of the questions and answers, it got a little heated between the minister, Sam George, and the chair, ABENA Asare, at the Public Accounts Committee. Let's take you there. Also refresh your mind about what happened, the conversations about telcos and the services they're providing. Poor services, actually, at the detriment of the Ghanaian. How much are you spending on data? How much are you spending on calls? And what is the network you're getting? Myself, I'm not getting the best of networks. Not the best. Yesterday evening, I was on a call. Make the call. Can you hear me? The person can't hear me. I can't hear. I'll drop the call. The next time is the person who cannot hear me, but I can hear the person, and drop it. And it's been that way for a few months now. I know it's the same for you and for you and for you. You buy data. Your data is running. However, the service you're getting is it's not the best of networks. Well, let's take you to Public Accounts Committee and listen to what happened there. We'll be back.
Thank you very much, Minister. I think per the reports from the auditors, we've had some answers that will need the help of the Attorney General to help us, one, validate those answers and also put things in the right perspective. And so we'll be happy to, as part of our recommendations, write to the Auditor General and bring this before the Auditor General. Minister, one other thing, which is not in the report, but we feel once you are here, we should ask you. is the poor quality of our networks. Minister, these days, it's very, very difficult to even make normal calls for 1-2 minutes consistently. So once you are here and we've had the opportunity to meet with you, I think we should bring this before you and ask that you speak to the telcos, because it is getting bad, especially the biggest of them all, which you know. Thank you.
Madam Chair, thank you so much, and I share in the concern. In fact, the regulator carried out some work last year on the conditions, quality of service, and we engaged the telcos. This year in Q1, we issued a new policy directive on the standards that we use, the KPIs that we use to measure quality of service. And that was a policy initiative aimed at pushing the networks to invest in their network. Because, Madam Chair, the truth of the matter is we're all beginning to see the decline, because over the last decade, we have not seen a commensurate investment in the networks to match the switch in our phone culture. Over the last decade, a lot more people have moved from YAM phones to smartphones. A lot more people are now using data. Any country that wants to have resilient data must have fiber as its backbone, fiber to homes. So I'll use Parliament as an example. Parliament sits in the Osu catchment area. There are cell sites that service that entire area. Now imagine if we had reliable high-speed fiber, dedicated fiber to Parliament, the Parliament campus. It then means that at every point in time in Parliament, you have at least 500, between 500 and 1,000 active phones in the chamber, from MPs to parliamentary staff to visitors. Now, if all of those people use the network in the area, what it does is it clogs the network, and then even people in the surrounding areas will see a decline in their quality of service. But if Parliament had dedicated fiber and everyone in Parliament was connected to the Wi-Fi, it means that you have freed up spectrum capabilities in the Osu enclave. They will have a good quality of service. And that's why we are saying that every major building must now have fiber, so that when people are there, they move off the mobile service, because actually it is a mobile service. So it's supposed to be for people in motion. Those who are in a particular location should be connected to Wi-Fi. Now, in doing that, what we've done is we have changed the KPIs, like I said. At first, the companies, the MNOs will pass with a 3% call fail rate. We've dropped it to 1%. Now, what that has done is it has spared them to now invest in their networks. So, and I can share with you, for the purpose of this committee and because we are live on TV, what the antecedent has been. And I'll use MTN. They're the biggest network. In 2016, to deal with increasing growth in the market, MTN rolled out 134 new sites. And when we say sites, those are like what gives the connectivity, 134. In 2017, it went up to 352. In 2018, 300. In 2019, 352. In 2020, 200. 2021, 120. 2022, 343. 2023, 350. 2024, 30. 2025, which was last year, they did only 50 sites. With our directive this year, they are doing 800 new sites.
So with all this that is going on, you ask MTN, the infrastructure that they claim they are building, the monies that they get from users, is it commensurate with the infrastructure that they are building? Absolutely no.
Madam Chair.
Minister, absolutely no.
Madam Chair.
I understand that, but you see, for them to sit and enjoy the increase in users, and then wait and wait and wait over a period of time before the minister says, add on this, add on that. All these monies that they were enjoying,
Madam Chair.
couldn't they have on their own increased these user sites that you are talking about? This is not good enough, Minister. We expect something to be done, and we expect it to be done sooner than, they are talking about, because now it is really, really bad.
Madam
In
Chair.
my constituency, Minister, it's like you just cannot make an MTN call.
Madam Chair, we are dealing with a decade of rot and lack of action, and it will not be fixed. Madam Chair, if you will, it
Minister,
won't be fixed.
Just listen
in
to me.
6 months. I've
A
heard you.
decade of whatever it is, were they not being paid for the increase in users?
They were, but
They
there
were.
was someone who was also being paid to make policy decisions. It's
were.
a policy decision I have
But
taken.
as a private company on your own,
They are driven
you
by
look at
profits.
the quantum of monies that are coming in, and you don't even think that let me also improve my services to be, so that the users, the huge influx of users that are coming in, can at least enjoy not anything exceptional, but basic services.
Madam Chair, I do not stand here to defend any of the telcos. However, the role in which I sit here to serve the Ghanaian people. Whoever sits as MD of MTN is thinking of his shareholding and his profit margins. And as every private business, not just MTN, Telisa, every private business will look at what they need to do to maximize profit within the legal regime.
But you maximize
For me,
profit,
what I
Minister.
have, and Madam Chair, the
maximize
point
profits.
I am making is
That is
that
commensurate with service.
and that is why you have a regulator. Regulators have a role to protect the customer by taking policy decision. You had a decade where there was poor leadership. Over the decade, the average number of cell sites per year was 223 sites.
Minister,
and I'm
understand
saying
that,
to
but
you
we
that
will not
in this
sit
year
here
alone,
and put blame on
Madam
policy
Chair,
makers or whoever it is. They themselves, as a company, also ought to do. Yes, I'm saying it is neither here nor there, Minister. But all we are asking now is whatever has happened has happened.
Madam Chair, when
But
you ask
moving
the
forward,
question,
Minister, please, moving forward, we want something done. We want some actions taken, and the actions should be taken quicker than
Chair,
what they have told you.
Madam Chair,
Minister, that's
no.
all we are saying.
Madam Chair, but you need to
Respectfully.
listen to
No,
me.
I
Engineering
understand
is
what
not
you are saying.
sentiment.
Minister,
Engineering
it
is not
about
sentiment.
sentiment. It is about
giving
see,
a policy
in business. In business, you look at the monies that are coming to you, and you ought to direct the services. The services that you are also giving. So that's all I'm saying, Minister. This is not monologue. No,
you've made your point. Can you listen to me?
And tired of the poor quality services that we are experiencing, and that's all we are saying, Minister. That is all we are saying. Maybe you think it is sentiment. It is not sentiment. It is the people of Ghana, the people in Etiwa East, who are complaining. We cannot even make calls, and it's serious. So that's all I'm saying, Minister. All I'm saying is that whatever it is that you have put in place, let them expedite action, because they are making so much in profits. When you look at their financial statements, you look at the profits coming from the Ghana company alone. It is so much money compared to what is coming from the other countries. And so we expect some level of services that will help all of us. And that is all I'm saying, Minister. Thank you very much.
Now, Chair.
Yes.
The point I'm simply making is that I won't sit here to justify anybody, but private businesses are about making profits, and those profits they paid to you over 8 years at the finance ministry as corporate taxes. Policy decision and policy leadership ought to make sure that we took steps to protect the customer. And I'm saying that we, under this reset agenda and under a responsible government, have done so.
Minister,
no, Honorable, I'm also a member of Parliament. Don't do this.
Minister,
please, I am on the floor,
Minister,
Honorable.
I understand.
Let me make my point. No, you won't heckle me. Don't play sentiment.
You, but we beg
Chairman, until and unless policy decision is making, Honorable, you need to rein in the Honorable member. She's being unruly.
No,
you are being unruly, please. This is unbecoming of a member of Parliament. Please, stop doing this.
Listen, you don't have the floor.
No, I have the floor. No, you have asked me a question. I have the floor. You will let me answer the question.
Minister.
No, you will let me answer the question. No, you won't do that, Abena. You won't do that today. Let me finish.
Minister, respectfully.
Let me finish.
This is our committee.
No,
you don't tell us what you want to do.
But you've not brought me here to talk down on me as well.
Nobody is doing that to you.
I listen to you.
Minister,
go on. You will listen to me as well.
Respectfully.
We have
respectfully,
asked
can you
them
turn
to
off your
roll
mic?
out. We have
Minister,
asked them
Respectfully, can you send
The
off your
chair
mic?
gave me the floor, please.
Minister. Minister.
Honorable,
Respectfully,
don't do this.
This is our
Don't do
committee.
this.
Minister, respectfully, I understand.
So if it's your committee, then don't invite us. But if you invite
Minister,
us, and you
it is
ask
a
us
law.
a question.
Minister,
so if you ask us a
respectfully.
question, you listen to us as well.
Minister,
it's not a monologue.
Respectfully.
So respectfully, let me land.
We will let you land.
Need
Just a
800
minute.
sites.
Minister, respectfully, we will let you land.
It's the same
Minister,
things you
we are
said.
not coming to repeat anything. Respectfully, we will let you land. Please. Minister, we understand you are in an important position. We understand the sensitive role that you play. When you come here and we address issues, it is not that we want to talk anybody down. Never. You and I, we go beyond this. We go beyond this. It is not that we want to talk anybody down. But Minister, the situation is serious. And that is all the sentiments I'm trying to carry across.
And that's the point I'm making. That serious situations require serious actions. We didn't see that for 10 years. And I'm saying to you that we've given a policy direction in January. On the back of our policy direction, MTN is rolling out 800 new sites. Telecel is rolling out 350 new sites. Between those two companies, you see 1,150 new sites. However, that's why I said to you that this is engineering and not sentiment. When you ask an MNO to roll out a new site, there are steps that have to be taken. First and foremost, you need to do the acquisition of the site. Then you need to then make the requisition for the radio equipment and the cell sites. Those are not things that are, for want of a better phrase, in a supermarket that you just go and buy. You place an order with an OEM. The regulator, the NCA, is going through this process. Most of the MNOs are receiving their BTA devices between July and August. So yes, we have made the request. We have asked them to take the steps. They have taken the steps. But it takes time for the equipment to arrive in the country. And when the equipment arrives and they roll out the improvement, you would see the improvement in the network. But we cannot sit here. After 10 years of failing to take action, someone is taking action, and then you say that you want to see it as quickly as possible.
How many of the sites are they building this year?
This year, MTN is doing 800 new sites.
Okay,
Telecel is doing 350 new sites.
Okay.
So we're looking at 1,150 new sites this year. And I'm saying to you that over the last 10 years, from 2016,
yes,
the average has been 223 sites per year. And so if this year we are doing 1,150, we are doing a 500% increase to try and cover. And that's why I'm saying that, yes, we all go through the challenge. But I'm saying to you that you cannot will some of these things into being with a snap of a finger. It takes time. And so I'm saying that we gave that order in the first quarter of this year.
Minister.
It will take about 3 to 6 months. I am confident that by the end of Q3 going into Q4, we would see a remarkable office. The chief director always signed most of those letters. But now I sign, but it's prepared by them, brought to me, and I sign. So it's not the normal practice that things will leave the minister's office straight to another ministry without going through the requisite administrative process.
So the shadow officers at the finance ministry, why they can't scrutinize this and then do the needful also?
Chair, unfortunately, I don't work at the finance ministry.
Okay, so on this note, you have seen what is happening in your ministry. You need to put measures in place, and I hope this your 1 million coder project also chop no come inside. And that's my advice to you.
Oh, Chair, the 1 million coders program is the flagship program of the president. There is no way there'll be chop. I've seen some things flying on social media, but Chair, those are requests that we have made. And what they are flying around and saying are scandals on 1 million coders are a request for commitment authorization that was signed by the chief director in January this year. So when Parliament approved our budget, for all the line items that we have for this year, 1 million coders, our procurement plan, basically our procurement plan for the year, we did a full list of about almost 60 things, girls in ICT, and did one umbrella letter to the Ministry of Finance saying, this is our spending plan for the year, we're asking for commitment authorizations. That doesn't mean that the money has been released to us in full. And Chair, I'll give you just a typical example, because I've seen all the commentary that's going on. They say we are paying 2 million Ghana cedi as sensitization on SIM registration and CEIR. As we roll out a SIM registration process, Chair, it's important that we educate the public on what the process is going to be, true or false. For the whole country, The media budget for the whole country running a media campaign is 2 million Ghana cedis. How much does it cost to just run adverts for 3 months on Asasi, or to run it on Joy?
Find out and let us know.
Madam Chair, you run national programs, so you will know. If
you didn't know, find out and let us know.
And so if we are spending 2 million
minister,
for the whole period,
you can leave. I'll take leave of us now. I'm sacking you.
You won't let me speak. After that, you sack me.
No.
Well, so the Public Accounts Committee, now we know how many cell sites are being built by MTN and Telecel to give us good connectivity, because we are paying too much money for very terrible network. Actually, you make calls and it's terrible. You can't hear, they can't hear you. You have to drop the call back, drop the call back, and it becomes frustrating. You don't want to speak anymore, and then you buy data and your internet will buffer, and then it becomes the norm. It's too much. And so yes, we look forward to seeing what more these networks do for us. They should give us the best. Like the chair of the committee was saying, you look at the financials of some of these network providers. Ghana's giving them a lot of money. We are literally a mine for them. They are mining a lot of money from here, but they are not giving us the best of quality. And so we demand better from them. We'll turn our attention to the Abronye DC matter. A lot has been happening there, but we'll have conversations about the Public Accounts Committee. We'll have conversation about the Abronye DC matter. I have with me again Fritz Delanyo Megashi, social commentator. It's been a few weeks since he joined us here. We have him here today to join us on our conversation. Fritz, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Abena. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I hope you're also doing well.
Well, I can't complain. Some pockets of doom so bad. We're fine.
Yeah, it's true actually. Yesterday my lights went out and it looked like it wasn't just my area, it was a very huge area where the lights were out.
The whole of Teshi and Chado yesterday,
no lights.
We're plunged into darkness.
Rather unfortunate. We'll take a look at the Public Accounts Committee and what happened there yesterday, and we'll also take a look at the Abronye situation. Before I even read what has happened after, the minority leader has been very vocal. He in the presser, he spoke. He says he cannot have any modicum of respect for the judge who sat on the Abronye case. That also say that the minority leader, as a senior at the bar, should know that there are ways by which he could present his frustrations or his unhappiness, rather than how he conducted himself. And so that was calling for the Ghana Bar Association to come strong at him. Following his press, as if it was not enough, the minority leader has gone ahead to update his socials judiciously on this matter. He's even written to ask the public to know what really happened in the matter. Fritz, we would listen to the minority leader for just a little bit, come back, and then I'll go through the tall list of commentary he's been making on his socials, and then I'll be speaking with you on that. I would love to hear your thoughts on what has been happening so far. My viewers, you too can send me messages on our socials. Leave a comment under the Facebook or YouTube stream and let me know what you make of this Abronye detention. At this point, minority leader says that it is a criminal libel law that is playing that is playing out. Is that what it is? Well, let's listen to him for just a little bit, and then we'll come back and read some more on the Abronye issue and have conversations actually on it.
In these veritable words, which I quote, Article 19(2)(c) of the Constitution takes precedence in the laws of Ghana, and any law found to be inconsistent to this constitutional provision must, on the basis of Article 21A and 131B of the Constitution of 1992, give way and be declared inconsistent and in contravention of the Constitution 1992. In my opinion, Section 96(7) of Act 30 as amended is one such legislation that is inconsistent with the Constitution. The general tenor of Section 96 of Act 30, which deals with grant of bail in general, therefore gives very clear indications. On the whole, the courts have a discretion to grant bail to persons appearing before them in criminal cases upon conditions stated therein. The absence of grant of bail in Section 96(7) is therefore odd and unnecessary interference with the discretion of the courts. The lead judgment of the court delivered by my brother Benin JSC, striking down 96(7) of Act 30 as amended as unconstitutional, in which I concur, is not a carte blanche for the court to admit every Tom, Dick, and Harry to bail pending trial, because the removal of the statutory shackles in the impugned Section 96(7) of Criminal Code Offences Act 1960, Act 30. On the strength of these, I set in motion the concerns of the party in respect of the remand of Kwame Bafo Abronye.
So, Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo marking on Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronye DC, who at this point is still with the police concerning comments that he made. They say these are comments that inspire fear. But even before we look at that, let's go back to the Public Accounts Committee. Fritz is here. Fritz.
Hi, Abena.
You heard Sam George. You heard ABENA Osasari, chair for the Accounts Committee. There's a lot happening at that committee. It's you listen and you ask where your taxpayers' monies are going. If only a little of that would enter into your pocket, life would have been different than it is. But we see the monies go and we can't really account for them. But away from that, Sam George, he tells us what his ministry is doing.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the best from there, because when I pick my phone and I make calls, it's terrible. Yet no matter how terrible the call is, I end up paying for the period I spoke, even if I did not hear the person or the person did not hear me. Are we being too hard on him?
Well, he understands the ministry. You remember that before he became communications minister, he was very critical of the previous administration. He took ESLA to the cleaners and back, and he gave us pointers of what he would do if he becomes communication minister. Thank God, Sam George became communication minister, and so you expect that there are a lot of expectations and the stakes are really high for him to perform. Yes, we expect him to do the job. Yesterday, when we were told that he was going to appear before the Public Accounts Committee, I told a very good friend of mine that, look, get ready for drama. Probably grab your popcorn and your Coke or your drink, because Sam George is going to give you drama. He knows how to pander to the gallery, and he knows how they'll respond. And so if he takes his turn at the Public Accounts Committee, that's exactly what he's going to do. I really do not want to go into the altercation that ensued between him and ABENA Osasari. I thought that it was so unnecessary. You were there to provide answers. You were there for accountability's sake. We want to know, and you can understand the anger and the ire of ABENA Osasari, and she speaks for all of us. And you started by saying that the network connectivity in your area, it's not
just my area. When I say that, I don't know where I've gone and had good network. It's been ridiculously stressful.
Absolutely.
Just yesterday, I mean, if I had not made calls yesterday, I'd say maybe. Yesterday, I made a series of calls, and every single call I made had issues. It was either I could not hear the person, they could hear me.
Right.
And so I'll say, hello, can you hear me? And then I'll drop the call. Or now they could hear me and they would repeat the same thing I had been doing earlier. Hello, could you hear me?
Right.
And so at some point it becomes stressful. I'm like, you know what? I think this conversation can be had another time. Meanwhile, it was important that I made the call. I dropped one call. I think I dropped about 3 or 4 calls just yesterday because of how terrible the network was. And every single time I finished a call, I'd receive a message about how much I had spent on the call. So where's the value for money? Where's the value for money when I'm making calls? It's difficult to sustain even a 5-minute 5 minutes is even too much. Sustain a 2-minute conversation on a call. That is ridiculous.
It's becoming increasingly difficult to make quality calls. And you're not the only one. Several Ghanaians out there can bear you out on this claim that the quality of calls we are making and receiving doesn't meet that threshold compared to contemporaries in the region. And Sam George has the duty of fixing that. Before he became minister, he told us that he's got the mettle to fix the issues within the sector. And so when he became minister, Ghanaians were really expectant that, okay, you said you would do it, so come and do it. You know what they say, that if it be easy, do and make we see. So yes, that is what they are telling him, that look, come and fix the problem. Then he got the chance yesterday at the Public Accounts Committee, giving us a litany of the problems, rehashing the problems again. People know these problems already. We know the reason why there is poor internet connectivity. We know the reason why the quality of calls are not the best, and that meets the threshold of the sub-region. You didn't have to be there at the Public Accounts Committee rehashing the problems, jogging our memory because it's becoming frustrating that these appointees of the NDC government, anytime they have to answer a question on why something is not working, they are quick to label the previous administration. And I'll say here again, times without number, that look, there's a reason why we kicked out the NPP and brought you the NDC, because you told us that you had a better solution to the problems of this country. And so if you know that there are not enough infrastructure for MTN to be able to function very well, well, you have said that in opposition, Sam George. All we need is, we need the network to be able to work. We need better internet connectivity. In this day and age of AI and the influx of social media and remote work, you have a lot of the youth who have now resorted to remote work, and they rely heavily on the internet. If you go to the Public Account Committee, those individuals who work in remote ecosystem really want to know what you can do to make the internet better. Don't go and pick up a fight with ABENA Mante, because it looked like for Sam George, he will never go down without a fight. He will never go down without a fight.
Have you calculated how much you buy as internet data for a month?
Yes, I do.
You calculate.
I calculate.
Well, I decide to live in oblivion, where I do not know how much I spend, because the one time I decided to calculate, I nearly had palpitations. And I decided not to calculate. But then you're calculating. I don't want to find out how much you're spending.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's the amount you're buying, the amount you're spending, directly correlating with the service you're providing.
The quality. You know that, well, I mean, that is non-existent, because you're pumping so much money. At the end of the day, you don't get your money's worth. And that is becoming so stressful. That is becoming so stressful. So I understand when ABENA Mante, full of anger, full of that energy and passion to talk about the issue, and some judge keeps saying that it's a policy problem, it's a policy problem, and he referenced the past and saying that, look, it's in the past that the policymakers in the past, the government, previous governments in the past, have not made the right investment.
Nobody cares at this point.
Absolutely.
It's been 2 years.
We don't care.
2 years of giving that ministry to you, that is a very important ministry. It's a ministry that you can't afford to get wrong. Some judge is doing a lot in the ministry. You see him launch 1 million
the
coders,
1 million
he launches
coders.
this, he launches that and that. But you see, every other thing would not make sense if the people do not have the best of quality of network.
Right.
People have to, beyond work, there are people who have families outside the country. The only way they can stay connected is through calls. Video calls, phone calls and
Absolutely.
all. Imagine you want to talk to your family. Many a relationship have broken down because of that.
Right, that one too.
So that's on the lighter side, but there's so much we expect of you, granted. And so when you keep reminding us of what has happened 2, 3 years, 10 years ago,
it's so traumatizing.
It's traumatizing because it's fine that we remind ourselves of what has happened before.
But that's not the time.
This is not the time. Tell us what is happening.
2 years of being in at that office. Tell me exactly. You said you're going to provide 800 cell sites for MTN, or MTN is going to do that. Fantastic. Beyond that, what else are they doing to improve the network connectivity in this country?
10 years ago, it wasn't done.
I mean, and you can understand sometimes, and I want to tell some John, look, I understand that there's a target on your back. People want your job. And because you have a strong personality, you can't blame, because that's his personality. If you have such a personality, you'd have people come at you.
But I don't
so he knows who he is.
But I don't think people are out to get him.
Well, people just say, do the job. Because if you say he who asks for accountability or equity needs to be able to come to the table with equity, because you're asking people to be better. And so people also expect you to what? Be better. So he's got a strong personality. He's somebody who hold one feet to the fire, expect so much from people, and so you don't expect otherwise when you become communication minister. And understand that that target is on his back. People want so much from him, and so when you come at him, he's always got his defenses up.
But when you coming at him,
well, it looks like for him, any time somebody asks question, or there's that rancor or back and forth, he feels that you're coming for him, and he's always got his defenses up. And you know what they say about when you're facing some type of attack, your first coping mechanism is defense. Your first instinct to reply to what you see as perceived attack is that defense mechanism. So he's got that, but he's got to focus on the job that he's been put in the office for. Forget about the naysayers, forget about the detractors. They will come at you. And sometimes I go on social media and comments do not favor him. He's been vilified.
I mean,
can you blame him? He has a strong personality, so people would always come for him.
A lot of backlash on even the tiniest thing. But I think that it's just in the same vein as what he's also given.
Absolutely.
Because I think he gets as much as he gives, and so at this point, you can't even blame.
You should see some of the old videos of some George Ray surface on social media, and some of the things he said really unprintable. And people said that, look, if you're able to say that in the past, what tells us that we can't say that to your face?
And
and so for people, it's like a dose of his own medicine.
But I don't even think they're giving him as much as he's giving in the past.
Well, we just need him to work.
To do the work. I mean,
fix the internet problems. What happened to the Tigo Telecel merger? I think he's quick. 80. I think the minister is quick to go to press with things that he has to do. And you know what they say about don't announce your moves before you make them. What happened to the Russian guy who are going to be extradited to the country to face charges?
But obviously, that did not lie within the
What's going on with the 1 million coders?
Well, it's happening. But for the Russian guy, I think the minister hastened in speaking.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point.
As communications minister, how are you telling us that you're going to work on extraditing somebody?
Like, it backs me out on my point that he knows that expectations are high, the stakes are really high, and so sometimes he doesn't have to come forward to tell us exactly what he's doing. But because of I need to please the public, they need to know that I am working. People say that no. So let me just come out and say something.
Or they need to know that as for me, if you come at me, I'll come at you.
So that defensive mode. But you're no longer in opposition, you're a minister. And there's a code of conduct that regulates your work. I think that sometimes he needs to pipe down. Really. He needs to pipe down and read the room. I mean, you're a public accounts committee, Sam George. There are people out there, there are constituents watching. People want the network to simply work. So yes, sit cool, accept all that ABENA Mante is saying. And at the end of the day, just come in and shut the noise and say that X, Y, Z is what we're doing. In so and so, man, this is what. Forget about the arguments.
We actually need to see it happen that way so that people will be happy. Look at this DSTV matter. At the end of the day, we said we don't want to pay, say, 5 cedis. I want to pay 2 cedis. And then at the end of the day, you tell me that, oh, you're still going to pay 5 cedis. But instead of a 500 ml bottle of water, you're getting a 750 ml bottle of water. So be grateful that we've actually increased the volume of the water.
I'm not saying what we'll be
but that's not what I'm asking for. Who said I have the 5 cedis to pay for to begin with? It's 2 cedis I have.
Yeah.
So give me 2 cedis. If you tell me I've increased the volume, it's only Fritz who can pay for it. And I cannot pay for it.
Absolutely.
So I think that it is about the minister walking the talk.
Yeah.
When he tells us this is what he is doing, he does. I think those things, his works are also at some point going to speak for him, and he himself will not even have to speak anymore.
Right. They've been in government for the past 18 months. If there's anything that hasn't worked for Sam George, it's confrontation. Anytime he takes people on in a confrontation, it doesn't end well. And so he needs to have that reflection and see that confrontation hasn't worked for me. Maybe in opposition it worked, but in government it's not working, because anytime he takes on something in a combative mood, it always comes back to haunt him. So reflect. There's a life that is not worth living, a life that is not assessed, not worth living. So he needs to reflect and come back. Not everything deserves confrontation. Not everything is a threat. Again, not everything is a threat. Yes, ABENA Asare might be raising her voice. We need the internet to be able to work. We need quality. But he's not coming for your job. So pipe down.
But I think for that period, he felt that I was speaking, and so the chair should also give me time.
At the end of the day,
but I also got her part where she felt like you were going back and back onto things that had happened in the past.
Yeah,
we are asking you about the now and here, and so speak on it. So I think they were just on different wavelengths concerning how the approach of the matter was.
Oh, you're member following, you're unruly. Name calling.
Yeah,
it was so unnecessary. It was so
surprising, especially as you were at the committee's invitation to come and speak. The committee is giving you the opportunity to speak about your outfit. Tell us what you're doing so that people can actually appreciate.
Absolutely.
It is the PSE meetings that we also get into appreciate what's happening.
It's the reason why it is called Public Accounts Committee.
The committee has called you. So for you to tell the chair of the committee that they were being unruly, one, you see, you may even be justified in your comments, but the circumstances of it, it's not good for the optics. And so, I was reading on social media where somebody says everything is a banter for the minister. He sees everything as a banter here and then.
That's what I'm saying.
He approaches matters as banter.
He's always combative, trying to, but again, kill people with solutions, not confrontations or banters. Kill them with solutions. This is what we're doing. This is what we're going to achieve. Give us timelines. That's what we want. Forget the banter. Forget the back and forth. I don't want it, because it is just going to be on social media. And at the end of the day, what comes out of it? How does the Ghanaian benefit from the banters that ensue between the communication minister and the other entities? Nothing. Zero benefits at the end of the day.
So you
focus
want him
on
to
the job.
To reposture?
Yeah, focus on the job. Keep your eye on. I mean, they say when the hunter is going, there's so many things that draws his attention. But at the end of the day, the hunter has got his eye on one particular game, and that particular game should be his focus. What is your focus at the end of the day at the Ministry of Communication? That should be what should keep you awake at night. Forget about the detractors. Forget about what people will say, the opposition. I mean, without opposition, who are we? Sometimes it's fuel for us to be able to work. The resistance is fuel for us to be able to work and get to that zenith of, our lives. So, yes, the minister, I get it, but don't mind them. Tell me the solutions you are bringing to bear on the poor quality services.
So the solution is that now we're going to get some 800 cell sites from MTN, some also coming from Telecel, to ensure that there's expansion.
But every now and then we have those expanded, but still the quality of network. So exactly at what point in time would we heave a sigh of relief and say that?
I think we should, like ABENA Asare was saying during the conversation or confrontation. She mentioned that if you look at the financials of MTN, for example, we here are not going to point fingers at one person. I'm speaking just on what ABENA Asare says. You look at our contemporaries in other countries, the MTN in various countries, and Ghana is giving them real good money.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, it looks like we are the smallest.
Yeah.
Because Nigeria is bigger than us, blah, blah, blah. Same for the DSTV brouhaha. They were paying less in Nigeria than we were paying. And so it looks like in Ghana, the costs for using services is really high.
Very high.
And we have made it, it's become a norm. But it cannot continue so.
Absolutely.
Because it's too much for us. Again, if you calculate how much you're spending, and they'll tell you buy in bulk. Who says I have the money to buy in bulk? How many people have the money to buy in bulk.
I like that point.
How
Not everybody has the money to buy in bulk.
Everybody has. The little you have is what you can buy with, and you buy. And so, will you continue to tax the poor? Would you continue to burden the poor because the poor can? That's why they say the rich will continue getting rich. Because you tell me
that inequality will keep widening.
That's why when you tell me, you know what? Rather put some 300 Ghana cedis down and buy in bulk. Meanwhile, if I bought about 10 cedis today, in 3 days I'll buy another 10 cedis. I could have put the 300 cedis down, but have you also thought about the deficit I would also have in communication? And so, if I had to spend about a month saving 300 cedis, are you telling me in that month I should not talk to anybody? I should not get onto social media? I should not use the internet for work that I would have? If I do not have Wi-Fi at my place of work, how do I use the internet? And so they give us solutions that obviously, beg your pardon, don't make sense. By telling us that save and buy this, save and buy that. People are spending 5 cedis. Go to any mobile money vendor, and there are people who have come there. But credit, mommy, may pay 5 cedis. She'll come back another 10 minutes, another 5 cedis.
Absolutely.
Look at how much it's compounding.
A grim picture of the quality
you're not
of life people
calling
are
outside
living.
the country. You're calling here.
Every time I have to make a call, I need to step out of my home
Why?
or my room.
So you can't be comfortable in your bed and make a call.
The public would have to hear what I'm saying, which is not, by the way, for public consumption.
Right.
But because of poor quality of the network,
You need to find
I
a
need
better
to go out
place.
and I'm yelling on the phone, and people think I'm mad.
You aren't.
But it's because of poor quality
It's
of
the
network.
poor quality, but
that's
you're paying too much.
Running me nuts.
You're paying too much for the quality that you're given. And so I think that, the minister, you said there may be targets at his back.
Yeah.
But at this point, the president has not reshuffled.
Absolutely.
The president has not indicated any form of reshuffling. What we know is that the job is yours.
You know how some people work in adversity? Sometimes there could be target on your back. That's when you work hardest.
So prove everybody wrong.
So you thrive in adversity.
Yeah, but prove everybody wrong.
You thrive in adversity.
Because,
and so he should just...
Because you're taking salaries we are not taking.
Absolutely.
You're having other good conditions of service.
And the taxpayer would always come for you. Yes. You might not like the approach. But because they're paying they are paying you with their taxes at the end of the month. And so, you know what they say, the hand that feeds you control you. There's this new song that is kind of like, the hand that feeds you control you. We are the ones feeding you. And so the taxpayer is going to come all gun blazing and get ready for it.
Yeah, I am glad yesterday this happened. We also got to appreciate some more things. And I hope that the next time the minister makes it to the committee, he'll come with better news for us. We should even start feeling it in our calls. I shudder to make calls, honestly. Right. It's stressful. Too much stress to make a call. Too much stress to... When you're downloading something, how is your speed like?
Always buffering. And sometimes I think... At some point I was thinking it was where I lived. But I called other friends and it was the same narrative.
I have all of the SIMs for all of the networks. Yes.
Well, I don't want to go into that.
So it's
the other network.
You try and it's too much, and so I think that we can do better.
Absolutely.
We should do better. But a lot has come up at the Public Accounts Committee. I'm sure at some other time we can look at that.
It wasn't just ABENA Osei that he had the altercation with. There was also the Member of Parliament from Menchia North. There was also another back and forth. So, Sam George, it's fast becoming like this is who you are. You work best with confrontation, but it mustn't be so. Sometimes you need to just step back, let people talk, and just come in and shut up the noise.
We are 5 months into the year. All of these cell sites that will be built. Do you have any expectations for up until the end of the year to see? Because at the end of this year, then we have about just a year until we're going into another election. And so, do you have any expectations of the ministry to provide us better?
Always. When you know the energy that he exuded when he was in opposition, when he got the communication ministerial, I was very happy and very optimistic that he was going to deal with the problems. You saw how he was very critical of Eslo Usu. And so it was the same passion with which she criticized the then minister is what I expect him to work. I expect the communication ministry to be able to work. there's cybercrime besides the quality of network services that is being handled. I expect that to work. There need to be more clamped down on cybercrime, especially children are the mercy of sexual violators on the internet. We need to fire on all cylinders in bringing those perpetrators to book. And so yes, quality of services need to be checked off the list, but we also need to regulate the internet space so that our children, because we can't say that because they are children they cannot be on the internet. We need to provide the safeguards for them to be on the internet and feel seen and feel sane. Yeah, feel seen and feel
sane. Yeah, I mean, parents will also have to put in some extra effort.
Absolutely, but it begins with government.
Yes, that is
government needs to make a policy, then rolls it down to the parents. Then it trickles down to everyone.
To everybody. Yeah. Well, I would always hold parents in high esteem on matters like this because nobody can guard your child like you can.
Yeah.
No, oversight responsibility is very important. You don't just put the phone, the tablet into your child's hand and then let them feel free.
Yeah, because if the UK and other European countries are doing it, having proper legislation on how children need to use the internet, their screen time and all of that, I think that we can also do it.
We can do that.
We can glean some lessons from there and have better and proper protection for our kids who are on the internet. Because again, the internet comes with a lot of benefits. We can't say because for a few bad nuts we will not allow our children to be on the internet. So communication minister, look at sanitizing the space and guaranteeing protection for persons, especially minors who use the internet.
Exactly, especially minors. And that's a really good call. I hope that the communication ministry and all of the relevant authorities pay attention to this good call by Fritz, and then we do some more for it. Protect our children, very important. Last week, I had a neurodevelopmental pediatrician here having conversations about screen time, and she also brought up concerns about legislation that would help sanitize the system for the betterment of our children. So yes, Fritz, that's a good call. But let me turn my attention to Alexander Afenyu-Markin, minority leader. They said the minority leader is doing too much. Let me read a statement on his page, his Facebook page. This is 19 hours ago. And then we'll have some conversation. It says, today is Monday, 18th May 2026, and the Circuit Court 9 judge has still not released his order remanding Abronye to BNI custody. He delivered his ruling in open court on Wednesday, 13th May 2026, and made the consequential orders. Citizens are not to complain or criticize the court. If they do, they risk contempt or referral to the General Legal Counsel for disciplinary action. Abronye has been remanded into BNI custody by the Circuit Court 9 judge until the final determination of the criminal charges brought against him by the police. Our new resets Ghana in motion, and he adds hashtag free Abronye now, hashtag justice for all. Not that alone, he posts another for the attention of all citizens who care to know what is happening at Circuit Court 9 in the matter of Republic versus Abronye, injustice by a court of justice. And this is on the letterhead of Nkrumah and Associates. It says, background: the accused person, Mr. Kwame Bafo Abronye, Bono Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, was arraigned before the Circuit Court Accra on the 13th of May 2026 on the following charges: offensive conduct conducive to the breach of the peace, Section 2071, Criminal Code 1960, Act 29. Publication of false news, Section 2081, Criminal Code 1960, Act 29. Prior to today's sitting, the accused was granted police inquiry bail on the 13th of April 2026. He was duly informed to appear before the court on the 13th of May 2026, which he did in compliance with the bail conditions. Upon his appearance, the prosecution was formally mounted against him. Counsel for the accused renewed an application for bail pending trial, citing that the offenses are misdemeanors, that the accused had a fixed place of abode, is a public figure, and has reliable sureties or sufficient means. Counsel further emphasized the accused's health condition and family responsibilities. The prosecution opposed the bail application, arguing that the accused, if released, was likely to commit similar offenses given the nature of the charges. Now, this is a court ruling. The Honorable Judge, after considering the submissions, denied the bail application on the grounds that the accused is likely to commit similar offenses if granted bail. The judge accordingly remanded the accused person into prison custody pending the final determination of the case. Subsequent application by counsel for the accused person. Immediately after the ruling, counsel for the accused prayed the court to remand the accused into BNI custody instead of prison custody. The Honorable Judge, after some hesitation, agreed with counsel's prayer. The accused was therefore remanded into BNI custody pending the final determination of the case. Attached is a copy of the charge sheet, and then so you would see the charge sheet there. There's another statement, which is a really, really long statement I would have loved to read. Maybe during our conversation, I would bring that to you. This is a statement by Kwesi Foko Benin, who is a private legal practitioner and also a member of the NPP Legal and Constitutional team. But even before I look at that, Fritz, are we killing an ant with a sledgehammer?
That's a good question. Based on some of the opinions I've sampled from private legal practitioners, I think that's, yes, we're using a sledgehammer to kill just a fly.
Yep.
Abronya and other members of the New Patriotic Party who have been picked by investigative bodies in this country. When you hear lawyers reflect on their case, they say that these are misdemeanors. That doesn't even warrant custodian sentence, or doesn't warrant that people be remanded in prison. But today, what do we see? It's a wave and a pattern of attacks and arrests by investigative bodies in this country. They go after previous opposition figures, and it's not looking good. And you know, the NDC might think that this is the law working, but you can't fool the ordinary Ghanaian. They are seeing it at the end of the day. Up until today, we have no explanation from the Ghana Police Service what happened to David Isando. Do you know?
Nope.
We're just told that it was speculated in the media that the guy was picked up for saying Dumso is back. And after the NPP...
How many times have you, Fritz, sat on this network, ABC News GH, as a social commentator and complain about Dumso? This morning, you've even talked about it.
It's back.
It is.
I wish I could say it any less. It's back.
Yesterday, all right,
Yeah.
the lights went out. I mean,
Yeah.
at a point when I didn't expect the lights to go off. I was just about sleeping and the lights went off.
Right.
Automatically, the sleep left. So I was so mad. I went on social media. People were crying about Dumso, and I'm like, is government seeing some of the conversations going on social media, for which the regular Ghanaian, let's say David Isando is politically motivated, but the regular Ghanaian, you and I, are feeling it.
Who are not politically exposed,
No,
at least.
I do not hold a party card. I don't know about you.
But
even if you did hold a party card,
absolutely.
I'm a Ghanaian.
I pay my taxes.
Yeah, you're a Ghanaian first.
Yeah.
The lights are out, aren't they? So should somebody be picked up for that?
So yeah, you know, and that's what is feeding into the perception that this is intimidation and not accountability. If we're being told of David Isando, who was picked up for saying Dumso is back, and the security services or the police think that that was not the reason why he was picked up.
So tell us why.
Exactly, because then again you're feeding into the perception that you are intimidating the people. Because again, people say that where is the hard evidence when you say that this is political intimidation and not
the police
accountability?
is not one to shy away from the public. They are very quick to release press statements.
I mean, this administration, Yohonu came back with more engagement to the press.
They are quick to hold presses, tell us what's happening. And so for cases like this, when you keep quiet, again, like Fred said, Ghanaians are discerning.
They are.
Ghanaians can read between the lines.
They are.
Even the opaque things, we can shine light on.
Absolutely. And, you know, I will not even be surprised. And I was telling a friend yesterday that the NDC might lose the next election from jail. And I know the reasons why I say that.
Why do you say so?
You know, there are a lot of things happening in the country right now. What happened to the 24-hour economy? What happened to the policies that the NDC campaigned strongly on that brought them to power? 18 months into office, I want this should be your major focus. Stop the low-hanging fruits of people who are talking, you know, going on their social media platforms and being critical of the government. These criticisms and these utterances are all ingredients of the democracy that we signed on as a country. Democracy guarantees free speech, right? Let people speak. Let people air out their grievances. Yes, there can be lines that can be drawn, but let it be made with a human face to it. Don't go after people, raid their homes, and, you know, try to, you know, trample upon their dignity simply because you want to uphold the law. Which law are you upholding? Is it the same law that says that if somebody commits a misdemeanor, you remand them indefinitely?
Until
Is that the
until
law?
the determination of the case, and so
Is that the law? That's not even fair. So on one hand, you say you are upholding the rule of law. On the other hand, it's miscarriage of justice and travesty of justice for a lot of the things. So please, we understand. People have to speak, but let's draw the lines properly. There was one research by one of our sister stations that says that the way the NDC has used the Electronic Act compared to the 8 years of the NPP, they have used it more even in their 18 months in office.
Really?
Doesn't look good.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it hasn't looked. It doesn't look good. And I know that the NDC
recently, GJ said it was going, and you sat here and you gave it to
when you tell me about the GJ,
no, we are not going to GJ because you brought up the Electronic Act. That's what I'm saying. That isn't it just recently that the GJ also raised concerns about the use of this act?
They said they were going to the Supreme Court to seek an interpretation. And by the way, I thought that you know, look, these are the things that are happening in the country. People are complaining about it. People now do not feel safe, or at least feel safe to air their grievances. They say culture of silence is back. I think that's debatable to say that the culture of silence is back. But the little things, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. When it happens today, oh, this is not culture of silence. Gradually, it's building up, and it will soon hit a crescendo.
So, are we going to be scared to speak on matters? I mean, for a misdemeanor and how it's been handled, the minority leader says that up until now they've not read the reasoning behind the judge's judgment.
Absolutely. And you saw the minority leader also go on a tangent of taking the judge to the cleaners.
He did take him to the cleaners
and back, and I thought that was so unfortunate of the honorable minority leader. I hold so much respect for him, minority leader Alexander.
Don't you think it was out of frustration?
But I mean, that's why you have the chance to reflect on your comments and come back. But he came back and see what he said.
I mean, like I said, I took time to go on his socials and I realized that he's not backing down any moments from now. Maybe they would have to, when Parliament reconvenes, they will take some time off him from this. But he's been very strong.
Very strong and making them printable.
Yeah, against the judge.
I'm very worried for the minority leader.
Why are you worried for him?
I'm just so worried because I don't know what he's going to say next. I don't know what he's going to say next.
I believe that.
Because to take the judge to the cleaners the way
he has no respect for him. You know, for many, they believe that because he is a lawyer himself.
I feel this very hypocritical because he's always the one preaching morals. Let's love one another. Let's do the right things.
Maybe the situation is overwhelming.
No, exactly. So we understand that maybe on the spell of the moment, you lost it and you spoke the way you did. But your next statements should at least reflect some remorse and say that after a proper reflection, maybe I misspoke or I didn't say the way.
Overboard.
I went overboard. But again, his doubling down and grandstanding.
Well, for me, I believe that as minority, you need to take a strong stance. But I think that the stance and taking the stance, he was just too fiery for me. He shouldn't have. I mean, allow some other people to speak that way, but not you, because at the end of the day, a lot of things rest on your shoulders. Again, one would also speak in his defense that they are frustrated about what is happening. He goes on to talk about the criminal libel law, but I am not one to accept the way judges are spoken about because of our history as a nation. We've had a time when judges were killed. Absolutely. You go on social media and that days people justify the killing of those judges. A judge gives a ruling that somebody is not happy with. And I've seen that happen a couple of times, say, this is why judges were killed. I'm like, no, nothing should ever justify that. And we know that for those in the law fraternity, it is one thing that is a never again situation they pray for. And so having been a lawyer himself, the minority leader,
senior member of the bar,
would also hasten slowly so that he does not also give fodder to those who are quick to call for abuse on the judiciary. The judiciary is one that cannot come out and defend itself. The judge cannot come and sit on TV and defend himself, can he?
No.
So if you believe that the judge has misconducted himself, I would think that the minority leader will go through the various processes that would have these things addressed. Then again, our politicians have made our judiciary what it is now.
They are to blame for it.
We look at our judiciary through party lenses. When NDC was in opposition, they said this about the judiciary. NDC is now in government and it's a different story. We used to hear unanimous FC, we used to hear this, that. Now it's a different story. NPP was in government, it had a different story to tell about the judiciary. NPP is now in opposition, it has a different story. But this is just one person, a circuit court judge. If he has not conducted himself in a manner befitting of a judge per your standards as a party, maybe we handle it differently so that we don't give the average Ghanaian the ability or the room to say that, oh, we do not need our judiciary, because we do need our judiciary.
We need them.
And we need
and
to
you know,
treat
and
them
you know
well.
the way the base of the NPP is currently charged. And I feel that comment like this from the minority leader could inflame passions. Already they are charged, they are angry. And you are the voice of reason in the room, supposed to calm tempers. You're not supposed to go on that tangent of, desecrating the judge.
But it was wild.
Criticize him about his work, and if his work doesn't meet the legal threshold, they are legal redress. For instance, I love the minority leader when he says that he's brought a suit against the court. You'll be heard on
20th of May.
Absolutely.
So
that is
could
so
have
commendable.
All of the comments that he made.
Absolutely. That is so commendable and very deserving of an honorable member of parliament and minority leader like him to go down the gutter and insult his personality. Oh no.
I mean, I get to when you're
That's
not
when
happy.
he lost me.
Yeah, I get to when you're not happy with the way somebody conducts themselves, right?
You know, when I heard the voice, I was like, oh, this could be AI generated.
Well, maybe because
because
he was talking to his party.
I didn't
members.
believe
You didn't believe it was him.
didn't believe the Osahini Afenyomakin I know. Oh,
I just
didn't
think that
I didn't.
Again, it could have been handled differently than it was. No, I mean,
and you make a brilliant point.
You could justify it. Anybody could justify what he did,
Yeah.
because for every action there's a justification.
Yeah.
However, seeing the position he occupies, I think he should have just toned down a bit, especially for me, especially because of how we've labeled our judiciary over the past couple of years. We are not putting our judiciary in the right light. There are those who believe that treat them so and so. We justify the killings of our judges. Some time ago, we had people sit on TV talk about raping a judge and all. So you see, these are terrible things that are happening.
Very terrible things that could open the floodgate for people. Because now,
you don't want
if a minority leader is desecrating a judge, an ordinary citizen can also say, well,
they'll say same. So I hoped that it would not get to that point.
And he inspires a lot of people.
He does.
And that's the fear, that if you have an influential person do that, then you're afraid of the number of people they are easily going to influence. This is an honorable member of parliament, minority leader, very fantastic, of great stamina, of great intellect. I didn't expect that of him at all. And, you know, the followers he has, oh my God. I hope that nobody follows in the suit.
I hope that we don't hear that kind of speech again, especially from him. I believe that for our judges, regardless of how unhappy we are with them, because of history, like their council say, and because of what has happened before, let's be very circumspect with how we speak about the judiciary, just because of what has happened before.
But the elephants in the room, the NDC, there's this perception. It's a perception. You people don't want to say that there's a real cause for why these things are happening. Perceptions matter.
Yes. So I was going to come.
So there's a perception. There's the elephants in the room. Stop intimidating. And that's a perception people have, that you are intimidating opposition figures. When people begin to weave that narrative, and I'm talking to them as politicians, because for the politician, it's always about the next election.
It doesn't bode well for anybody.
It would affect their electoral fortunes. And Muhammad said this is a legacy year. Is it a legacy of intimidating opposition figures? Is that the legacy you want to have for the presidency? Because the president could have good intentions to lead this country, but it's always the people around him.
You think the president is not aware of what's happening?
The president has a lot of things to be worried about. He was recently in Geneva.
Yes, speaking at the
brilliant. But back home is intimidation.
So minority leader says we are back to the days of the criminal libel law.
I thought that was an overkill.
An overkill.
Absolutely.
You don't think
we're not there yet? Well, we are not there yet. I hope we never get there.
No, we must not get there. We've made a lot of strides with our free speech, our freedom of speech. Anytime somebody tells us that they want, I hear anybody talk about wanting to go back to military rule, I laugh. I mean, I'm not grown. I'm not grown.
Absolutely.
I've read too much to want a military rule. In any case, let me say I've not even read too much.
Yeah.
See, look at when you're in the university and compare university to SHS.
Yeah.
And see the stark difference.
Yeah.
So if you were in university, would you tell me that you would look forward to going back to SHS, where there's a rising bell, there's a time to eat, there's a time to sleep. If you were caught just a minute outside of your sleep timetable, you would be punished. There's so many things that are not in your favor. Then it comes to university where you live your own life. There's a schedule for you, for your class and all, but it's your decision to take.
Absolutely.
And whatever happens after your decision is yours to make. I always compare that to wanting a system which is autocratic, where I'm told what to do. And I keep saying, if we were in that period, do you think we'd be able to sit on TV and then be critical of governments the way we want to be? And so I, for one, never agree with anybody who says, let's go to the autocratic rule or military rule.
Because the reason, if there's any, classical example of the military rule, the reason why they came, or the reason why they criticized those who were in charge for leading, they came and perpetrated the same thing.
The same thing, yeah. I always say that, you become the things you criticize.
Yeah.
You say that everybody should have one of these. And then when you come now, you have three of them.
It's one of the downsides of criticizing people.
Right,
if you don't take your time, you become
what you criticize, actually. Well, so, what he says we're going back to the days of criminal libel. I said, I don't think we'll get that. I'm sure a lot of Ghanaians will stand against that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it is political talk. This is the minority leader speaking to his party. He's speaking to his party members. He's just telling them that don't relent. I also feel like at this point, some party members could feel down. They could feel, let me not speak. The morale will be down. So this is also a way to ginger them, but it could have been better.
It could have been better.
The gingering could have been better. So
it could have been better, way better.
Yeah, there's just a lot. So now we look at, forward to 20th of May.
Yeah, 20th of May.
High Court.
Absolutely, how that suit is going to go. I think, again, it's so commendable that they are doing that. Let them put all their arsenal into that hearing. Forget about the other, chatters on the side. Let's put our energy. Let the NPP, if I say let's put, it makes me look like an MP. I'm not an NPP. The NPP or the minority should put their
I
energy
don't think that our viewers
street.
would put in any party colors.
Yeah,
today.
the NPP should put, their arsenals into that and make it work. Forget about the chatters.
But I honestly, I think that arresting somebody, detaining them for this longer time, given reason that they could go back
because
and do the same.
Yeah, I know if he goes back, he'll do it again.
But I mean, your social media is yours. Obviously, we have to be responsible with social media. The comments we make.
I don't subscribe to politics of insults.
No.
Let's go ideas.
But our political parties continue to do the same thing. Okay, the things we criticize when we come into power, we do it.
I'm tired of talking about
we do it. We criticize, we do it, and so. In the past few years, we saw it happen with the NPP. NDC comes in, they are doing the same thing. And so, for these two parties, really, is it to recycle, rinse, repeat?
Old wines in new bottles.
Well, we hope it gets better. Now, the minority leader talks about Abronye sick. We understand that after the first bill was granted, he had to travel out of the country to seek medical attention.
Yeah.
You understand he's not well. We don't need these things on our hands.
It's a misdemeanor, for crying out loud.
We don't need it.
And let the law work.
But like Fred said, we've not heard anything from the Ghana Police Service concerning the arrest of David Isando.
So people have seared it in their mind that you are intimidating them.
But it's a blight on the Ghana Police Service, especially a service that is very quick to inform us of what is happening in the country. And so it will be great that anything that happens, we are informed. We know what's happening, so we can better appreciate it. There's so many, there are bigger fish to fry.
Absolutely. We're saying that these are low-hanging fruits. These are low-hanging fruits. At the end of the day, you are given a mandate. A mandate to lead the Ghanaian people and make their lives better. How does remanding Abronye in custody, BNI custody, and having the NPP, go all up in arms, go on rampage and make all the noise and say unsavory things, help the ordinary Ghanaian? These things do not help us in any way. Focus on the issues, channel your energy into the reasons why you were brought into power and make it work. This is a legacy term. Don't disappoint the president, his appointees. We understand the overzealousness and trying to settle political scores and the vendetta. But 18 months and you're still bent on settling vendetta, political scores, 18 months into office when the 24-hour economy is not off the ground and you're still settling political scores and trying to pay people back in their own coin. We don't need that.
Since our economy is not off the ground, we are building markets all over the country.
We don't need. I mean, with all this intimidation about people, allow people to talk and just put a human face to how you deal with them. And the high-handedness is unnecessary.
Yeah, the high-handedness is unnecessary. I mean, again, using a sledgehammer to kill a fly, to kill an ant, when, this is something you can just hit and then it's gone. Let's deal with these matters. Fred said, let's put a human face on it. They tell us that Abronye is sick. We don't know his medical report, so we can't speak to that. But assuming that it were indeed, if we knew and he was indeed sick and we're treating him the way we're treating him at this point, that would be literally not caring about even the basic things of life. That is health and life.
Absolutely.
And so
and why do they always have to get sick? Remember the Maxwell Juma? It was the same thing. He had to be taken to ICU.
Every single politician who has been arrested in this country gets sick in police custody, whether it is real sickness or not. We know
because it takes a toll on their mental health.
We know that they all get sick. Any politician who's arrested, the next thing you hear, they've been rushed to the hospital. I mean, again, it's a free speech country.
Yeah.
People will talk.
I mean, democracy.
Yeah. Nobody is going to stop talking. People will continue talking. It's about how you handle it. And it's also about us. I think I would also want to make an appeal to us as a people. We have free speech, but you see, there's what is right, what is permissible. We are allowed to talk, But if there are things that you're going to say and really is going to cost the nation, you say, we've seen it happen in other countries.
Right.
Where the speech of a group or two groups cause conflicts that sustained over a very long period. Obviously, it was fueled by other elements, but our speech really causes. Speech can douse the flames,
right,
and it can also inflame what we are seeing, and so we can do better with the things we say.
Yeah.
I mean, Doomsday back is not something that will kill anybody.
34 years of democracy, right? Free speech should be stronger than it is at the moment.
Yes, exactly.
You know the comments that was made by Franklin Kujo yesterday, a Mani African president, and he said that there was a point in the life of South Africa where a judge considered Zuma a thief comment as a fair comment. That's how far the democracy has grown. People are going to talk, and remember what Otumfuo said, let people keep talking and keep building.
And keep building, yes.
I love that. NDC allow the people to talk and continue building. Focus on the 24-hour economy. Focus on oral. Focus on Nkokon Kitten projects. Focus on the big bush projects. Let people talk, and continue building. Don't be swayed by what is happening on your side. Then you lose the focus.
But even in the Kenyan parliament some time ago, when was it Kenya? No, I think it was actually South Africa.
South African.
Where somebody passed the comment, one of the MPs told the speaker to have the man retract. And he said, no, it's free speech. And so she also now passed a similar comment on the speaker. Because no, you'd have to retract. And she said that, well, it was a South African, yes. And then she was like, well, it's also free speech. And so,
but we need to know where to draw
the line. I mean, as people, that's why we have our conscience. Our conscience to tell us where to stop.
Yeah.
Where even in the case of the minority leader, you literally just said that you believe that he could have stopped at a certain point.
Yeah.
Rather than gone on the tirade that he went against the judge.
And always, you always have a second chance to redeem. I mean, sometimes in the moments of madness, we all, go off the rails. But when you consider that you've done that, a gentleman, you reflect and say, oh, it could have been said in a better way.
Would be decorous with our words.
Absolutely.
And also expect that our public institutions also hold themselves in the highest of regard. We can't have David Isando be picked up and not know why he was picked up, and leave room for speculation, for the casting of aspersions, for all of the perceptions that people would make about our institutions.
You know what destroyed the NDC in 2016? Perception.
Okay.
They were incapable of handling the affairs of this country. The NDC, if they don't want to have a deja vu, they should deal with the perception of intimidation of opposition figures. I promise you, it might come back to bite them somewhere else I don't want to mention.
It might come back to bite them. Well, that's a great conversation with Fred this morning here on ABC in the morning. We hope that our political parties pay attention and also get better. But that's all for our conversation. Fred, thank you for joining me here on ABC in the morning. We'll take a break. When we return, we bring you the latest in the world of sports. You don't want to miss out on that at all. Stay with us.
Without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the Talking Point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Markion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures From the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans, I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC airs every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Some things never change. The meals we grew up loving, the taste that brings everyone together through every pot and every recipe. Gino remains the tomato mix you trust. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
Baby, we are second. So you remember to pon advert. Let's why so by advert no you to pon na media.
Do you need a media house to shoot quality TV ad for your company or products? Bring your company's vision to life.
And you make media house we are now. Potential films. So you must don't worry. So what you do to pon a cost you through advert contact woman.
We help businesses build their brands.
Ukraine omojuma what quality can somebody try.
Reach their target audience and ultimately drive sales and revenue growth.
You be new. Omojuma is perfect. Contact no good script about your product, sound, jet. They will give you quality pictures. How do you see it? How do you feel it? Wow. So picture unya na no makasa. First number way 0541 16 28 28. I'm repeat 0541 16 28 28. Call them.
Potential Films. We believe in quality.
This week's been wild. New releases dropping, artists blowing up, moments going crazy on the timeline. Don't worry, we've got you.
We put the highlights, the dates, the events, everything you need to know, and then the real fun starts.
The official top 10 songs running the streets, the airwaves, and your playlists.
If the culture is talking about it, we are counting it down.
This is the rundown.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the Talking Points. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Markion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC airs every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
This week's been wild. New releases dropping, artists blowing up, moments going crazy on the timeline. Don't worry, we've got you.
We put the highlights, the dates, the events, everything you need to know, and then the real fun starts.
The official top 10 songs running the streets, the airwaves, and your playlists.
If the culture is talking about it, we are counting it down.
This is the rundown.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose a tomato mix you trust. Because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the Talking Point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Markion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Welcome back, ABC in the morning. Even before we bring you the latest in the world of sports, let me read some comments that we have. This is from teacher Kujo Tepenyine Suso. If I may ask, which of these two do we need now as a country? The Agenda 111 project or the 24-hour economy market? Even the Mala at Bugloshi and Nima markets in Accra cannot operate viably for 24 hours. We are setting our priorities right. The government should stop the sword cutting and the construction of new 24-hour markets and channel that energy into the completion of the hospitals, which will in turn create and formalize economic development in the districts. Greetings to Asanteman Koka, JFK Nanabi, and Mr. Owusu Bempa, the Nshaiso constituency chairman, hopeful. Another comment from Kwame. The sacrosanct of the judiciary should not only be guarded by the public, but also by the judiciary itself. The current president in opposition asked the NDC lawyers and judges to prepare to take up positions in the judiciary. Don't you think these are the fruits we are reaping? Well, these are comments coming in. Thank you for sending in your comments. Now it's time for the latest in the world of sports. Slowly into the World Cup. James Ohenba Makion is here. How many days to World Cup?
22 days to the World Cup.
Oh, look at that. You know what I said today on the show when I was starting? I said we have 26 or 7 days.
No. 22. Yesterday was 23 days.
22 days.
Yeah,
that is 3 weeks, 1 day.
Exactly.
I am extremely excited about the World Cup.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed.
Why?
Black Stars.
The squad?
No, not that. I went on X. They posted a video.
Describing our jersey.
Poorly done video.
Well?
Beyond that, there were pictures of people wearing our jerseys. I mean, we have different complexions in the country. But the dominant complexion, which is my color and darker. I mean, Molly was in there. I think the Shake It to the Max lady. She's Ghanaian.
Yeah.
There should be representation. There's something called representation. That's why we say representation matters. I beg your pardon, let me speak to you a bit.
Oh.
There have been more than Nipa there. But we used about 4 or 5 people to for that shoot, right? You're telling me we couldn't find some dark people to join the fair people? Oh,
I think those were the training kits we will use in the US.
Already, people don't like people are falling out of love with the World Cup, with the Black Stars.
Yeah, but I get your point, but I think they just released it yesterday, and I don't think that kids are even here in Ghana. So, you know, Puma is in Germany.
No,
so they use some models around to just model.
We have a Ghanaian community outside. I don't know where in the world.
So no, they use celebrities and everything.
Don't we have dark? I'm not saying we shouldn't use fair people, okay?
I get you.
And please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we shouldn't use fair people. If we had 4 people, you're telling me we couldn't use 2 fair people, 2 dark people.
I get your point.
Tell the regular Ghanaian who would see the pictures. How many people can relate?
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
I mean, so who decided first? The last time we released a certain squad, we didn't even use a Ghanaian song. I've forgotten where we were going.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
we didn't use a Ghanaian song. Our Nigerian brothers laughed at us that we can't even find our own songs to use, and so we had to use a Nigerian song.
And when we were explaining our jerseys, we use AI. But I love the stories behind the jerseys. They are great stories.
So we have great storytellers in Ghana.
Oh, but
journalists, voiceover artists. We have great storytellers in Ghana. Who could have done that?
Yeah,
bring up the later.
So it's still on the World Cup. Let's bring you the World Cup facts for today. And today we are looking at the countries that have won the World Cup before. So there we have it on our screen. So you know that since the World Cup was played from 1930 to now, we have just only 8 nations winning the World Cup trophy. That tells you how difficult the World Cup is in terms of winning it. So out of those 8 nations, we have Brazil have won it on most occasions. They've won it 5 times. And then there is Germany and Italy who have won it 4 times. Then there is France, won it 3 times. Uruguay has won 2 titles. And then there is Spain and also England who have won it 1. So these are the 8 teams that have won the World Cup. Can we have another team winning the World Cup for the very first time in their history? Time and season will tell when we look at the World Cup in the 2026. That will be staged by the USA, Canada, and Mexico. So that's our World Cup facts for today. So I've now 8 winners so far since the World Cup was started in 1930. Yeah, just
Africa is not in.
Oh,
the last time Africa got closer was Ghana.
No. Morocco semi-final.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm still thinking that 2010.
Morocco was in the semi-final. They finished 4th. Yeah, so that was the closest ever any African team has.
Maybe this is the year that we show.
Which of the countries?
Oh, I believe we can do it.
Oh, Ghana.
Oh, we can do
Charlie, it. So, head coach of Ghana, Carlos Queiroz, has been speaking ahead of the World Cup. He is calling for unity among Ghanaians and also unity among the squad. He believes that if the country is united and we are supporting the Black Stars can go a long way to do well in the World Cup.
We have to give the example to the nation that we are united, that we are ready to pay the price of efforts, of sacrifices, of commitment. That's the only way that the people start to be around us and engage in our beliefs and support us. Because united and together, we have a better chance. If everybody starts or somebody to go in different directions, it will be more difficult inside the pitch. But if we be able to create this wave, this spirit until the first day, we're going to be more strong. The second way of my work now, it is about the full details that we have to put in place, the preparation program, the training, nutrition, physios, the fitness of the coach, the details of set pieces. So we have to put the right preparation program. And the day we will be able to put that on the pitch, the players will be more confident, and the team start to born with more cohesion, more consistent, more strong.
So that's the head coach of the Black Stars, Carlos Queiroz, speaking ahead of the World Cup. He spoke on the Beyond the Whistle podcast by the Ghana Football Association. Now let's move to his assistant, his right-hand man. That is Roger Disa. He is the assistant coach going into the World Cup for the Black Stars. He says that Ghana have a lot of talent when it comes to Africa, and he's very, very surprised that he has seen a lot of talents in Ghana, and believes that you can go all the way in the World Cup and also perform magic in there.
As an African football sort of lover, the talent is unbelievable. It really is. I think you guys don't know what talent you have with limited limited sort of development structures.
Yeah.
You guys have so much natural talent. You know, I can only speak for myself in South Africa, where we have talent too, but it's different talent, and we have a lot of facilities, and we don't go forward with our talent. You know, yet here, your
Very
players, I can see that it's limited, and I understand that, but the talent is.
So that is Roger Disa. He is the assistant coach of the Black Stars for the 2026 World Cup. Abena, the AFCON 2027 is coming, and today we will witness the draw of the AFCON qualifiers. Remember, it will be hosted by Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. Three nations hosting the AFCON Cup of Nations in 2027 next year. But today will be the day that we will get to see which country we are playing the qualifiers. So let's have the pots on our screen. So Ghana has been placed in pot 2. Let me quickly go through the pots. And in pot 1, we have Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria, Algeria, Egypt, Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia, Cameroon, Congo, Mali, South Africa, and Burkina Faso. And then to pot 2, there is Cape Verde, Ghana, Guinea, Gabon, Uganda, Angola, Benin, Zambia, Mozambique, Madagascar, Equatorial Guinea, and Comoros. And then in pot 3, there is Kenya, who is the host nation, Libya, Tanzania, Niger, there is Sudan in there is Namibia, there is Rwanda. And then to pot 4, the likes of Somalia, Botswana, Lesotho, Burundi, Liberia, Congo, Brazzaville, Guinea-Bissau, and then Zimbabwe. So this is how the group is going to work. They'll group the groups into 12 groups, each group having 4 teams in there. Ghana's
in pot 2.
Yeah, Ghana is in pot 2. So that means we are not going to meet any of the nations in pot 2. So we will pick one nation from pot 1, one nation from pot 3, one nation from pot 4, then Ghana from pot 2. So out of the nations,
I wish I could see it clearly and see
all right.
Which of the.
So in pot 1 there is Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia, Cameroon, Congo, Mali, South Africa, Burkina Faso. Which of them? You want Cameroon in our group? Okay, then let's go to pot 3. Kenya, Libya, Tanzania, Nigeria, Mauritania, Gambia, Sudan, Sierra Leone, Namibia, Togo, Malawi, and Rwanda.
Come again.
Kenya, Libya, Tanzania, Nigeria, Mauritania, Gambia, Sudan, Sierra Leone, Namibia, Togo.
Sudan.
You want Sudan again? We didn't qualify to the last AFCON because of Sudan.
Again. And I'll explain why I'm choosing.
All right, and then in pot 4 there is Somalia, Eritrea, South Sudan, Botswana, Lesotho, Ethiopia, Burundi, Liberia, Guinea-Bissau, Central African Republic, Congo, and Zimbabwe.
Congo and Zimbabwe. Maybe Congo.
Oh well,
that's I want us to have like tough teams. Why? If we're able to get out of. But say if we get softer teams, okay, and we qualify, the probability that we'll go out of the tournaments will be.
Okay, so you want.
So I want the top opposition, so that
even when we qualify, you know that you can do well.
Yes, I feel like
the more tough opposition are in the World Cup waiting for you. So these are not tough opposition. So that's it for us. So Ghana, we will see which of the nations we will play against by the close of day. But still on the World Cup, Brazil have announced their last 26-man squad for the World Cup. And interestingly, Neymar Jr. dos Santos is making the World Cup squad, but João Pedro of Chelsea's player of the season, is out of the World Cup squad. It has created a lot of controversies.
I had a lot of questions to ask Makion on this, and I think today I would be watching Game Time for a conversation about this.
Yeah, definitely.
People were having a meltdown because João Pedro is not.
You see,
why?
João Pedro is. This morning, Chelsea confirmed that João Pedro is their player of the season. He joined them in the FIFA Club World Cup, scored goals. He's their top scorer this particular season. But I get why people are angry because he's been exceptional for Chelsea this season. But I also understand Carlo Ancelotti because in the Brazil national team setup, every opportunity that has been given to João Pedro, he has not performed.
Okay.
So he has not even scored a single goal.
For them.
In their last 5 games, he has switched from the bench. Against France, he didn't perform. Against Senegal, against Colombia, against Chile, he didn't perform. He's been given several opportunities in the Brazil jersey, and he has bottled it. But if you look at other players who have been called, even in the attacking field, there is Igor Thiago. He received his debut call-up against France, and he did so well. He gave an assist in that particular game. So definitely, Carlo Ancelotti will be looking at the players available to him, and Hendrick has been in superb form for Olympic Lyon. But in the Brazil national team setup, he's been exceptional.
Okay.
So for João Pedro, I understand the reason why
the World Cup would also have been a platform for which he would now
no,
show
the World
up.
Cup is not a. The World Cup is a platform for players who have already proved themselves. So Neymar is an exception because the coach said if he is playing and he is fit, he's going to the World Cup, and he's playing for Santos. Over the weekend, he played. And he's going to the World Cup, and people are calling for the day you to be included because Neymar.
I've seen that justification that if Neymar is in the Brazil.
We don't do that here. We don't do that here.
So for you, the day is not going.
Let's bring his father Abedi Pele. He's more experienced than the Dayu. Let's go forward and let's go to the English Premier League. And yesterday, Arsenal, the Gunners beat which team did they even play against? Arsenal, the Gunners. Thank you. They beat Burnley by a goal to nil. Kai Havertz scoring in that game. It's just left with the game for Arsenal to win the English Premier League title. Let's have a listen to Mikel Arteta speaking after the game.
I knew it was going to be tough. I think in the first half we played some of the best football that we've played this season. We were very unfortunate not to score 2 or 3 goals. And yeah, then there was the story of the season as well. If we cannot do that, make sure that we are extremely efficient, defending certain moments, not giving anything away to the opponent, and winning the 3 points. Well, I think the desire that every single player shows in the defensive duties, their behaviors, the way they work for each other is phenomenal. It's a lot of work put it by all the coaches as well.
Arsenal, and that's how the supporters gave Mikel Arteta fans yesterday, and he thanked the supporters for their support. Remember, yesterday was their last home game at the Emirates. Their last game will be at the Shells, but the Emirates, yesterday was their last home game, and Mikel Arteta thanked the supporters for supporting the club since day one of this particular season. Let's have a listen to him.
Of this football club, and each of you contribute to that. So make sure every time you step in this stadium, you face the responsibility now to keep it at these standards, because it makes such a difference for us and for all these players. I want to thank you all. I want to see you soon in Selhurst Park, and for sure in Budapest as well. But before I leave you,
so on Sunday, I'll be at Selhurst Park for the coronation, but we are hoping that tonight, Manchester City will drop points against Bournemouth. Pep Guardiola has been speaking ahead of the game. He says that they are just going to play against Bournemouth. It's a difficult game. If they lose points, congratulations to Arsenal. If they don't, the title goes to the wire on the final day. Let's have a listen to Pep Guardiola.
Arsenal win. If we don't win tomorrow, we will congratulate Arsenal. So, and we would like to arrive. Crystal Palace away is always Crystal Palace away. We play at home. I will not say Aston Villa is easy, but completely the opposite. So United is just extraordinary, exceptional, and but we will love arriving there. The people come at 3 p.m. next Sunday. Maybe what will happen here in Selhurst Park will be nice, to extend this 4 or 5 days. The hopes that maybe we can win the Premier League again. So that is what we learn. But I know the task is tomorrow will be so difficult.
You said on Saturday after the game, Pep, that a trip to Bournemouth is a bit like going to the dentist.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I was in a hurry to ask the question. I nearly didn't let us listen. Why are you so sure, as Arsenal fans, sure that City is either going to drop points or draw? Because City just won the FA Cup. Don't you think that?
Bournemouth are unbeaten in their last 14 games across all competitions. Okay. City themselves are also unbeaten, but they are playing at the Vitality Stadium, the home grounds of Bournemouth. It's very difficult to win at that particular ground. So since Antoine Semenyo left, they've gone on 16 games unbeaten run. So yeah, we are hopeful. And for the fact that they won the FA Cup,
it's a consolation trophy.
It's not consolation. We worked for it. We worked for this over 22 years, which is consolation trophy. But tonight, Chelsea will play against Spurs. De Zerbi has been speaking, but that's our wrap-up Spurs on ABC in the morning. Remember, on Game Time, we bring you all the updates, all you need to know, the must-starts and everything about the games that will be played tonight. And also tomorrow we'll bring you more updates. My name is James Ohinbamakeon.
Bamakeon, we are all looking forward to Game Time to find out what happens. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so it means that Sports World will also happen. But by tomorrow we would know
if Arsenal are champions.
So if Arsenal is champions tomorrow, what are you coming?
Tomorrow I'm carrying an Arsenal jersey.
Okay, we'll hold you to that. And if City will well, viewers, that is all for today's show, ABC in the Morning. Thank you for joining. Thank you to my viewers and my commenters. I mean, there's no ABC in the Morning without you. Thank you so much. Thank you to Fritz Delanio and Megashi, social commentator, for joining me here for our conversations this morning, and to the production and technical team for putting together today's show. Most grateful to you. ABC in the Morning comes your way every morning.